I'm here with Mike today, and we're talking about homelessness. So, Mike, how do you feel about that whole issue?
It is a massive epidemic right now in our country. People are being treated as less than human and totally neglected, and quite often die on the streets or get stuck in a loop where they can never recover and get on their feet. And there's a lot we can do, but a lot is not being done. So
okay.
It's
what kind of things do you see we could do more?
I would say, to start, a big loop, from my personal experience, I was homeless for 2.5 years, something like that. And
you were on the streets?
Yes, ma'am, yeah. I was in a shelter for a little bit, and then I got kicked out of the shelter. Because I wasn't going to caseworker appointments, but I couldn't do that while I was actively job searching, and I was in a town that was very sprawled out, right outside of Chicago.
Okay.
And it was very difficult for me to get back to the shelter in time, and they would kick you out for the night, and if you're out for the night, you miss your casework appointment, and then if you miss your caseworker appointment twice, you can't stay there. So it's very counterintuitive for sure.
Yeah.
But
how was that time for you, those 2.5 years?
it was very rough. I had just turned 19 when I was homeless. Well, I was on my own at 17, but I was officially homeless at 19 until I was almost 22. So,
what, if you don't mind me asking, what led you to that point in your life?
I had a child in high school.
Yeah.
And I was living with legal guardians because my parents split when I was young.
Yeah.
And they were not cool with me having a kid, even though we handled it completely well. And he's adopted by a very nice family in Washington.
Yeah.
Everything is, it transpired super healthily and efficiently, but my guardians were not okay with that.
Really?
So at 17, they kicked me out, and I was kind of on my own with friends, or I was staying at my grandma's house for a little bit, and then I would go back to the city I was going to high school in. And I was missing a bunch of school and trying to set a foundation and like a really pivotal point in my life. So it was tough.
Wow.
For sure. And then leading directly from trying to find a foundation to having like any foundation that I had crumbling, and then being on the streets was very hard and pretty devastating. But luckily I've recovered pretty well since then, and that was 5 or 6 years ago.
So how did you manage to get up from that?
It took a lot. I met some really nice people who let me stay with them, and I was able to find a job, and like I had to. It was a lot of work. Basically, I was staying with a family in Rockford, Illinois, which is about 10 to 20 miles outside of Chicago.
Yeah.
And I had to find a way to Addison, Illinois, to get to my grandma's house. Mm-hmm. And I was trying to convince her to get me to stay with her, but I had a friend take me in, and then I got a job at a Target in Lombard, which was about 45 minutes away. So I had to either hitch a ride or sometimes walk 2 or 3 hours or whatever to get to work and prove that I was, in a spot, a better place than I was.
Yeah.
But at that point, getting a job was really hard because I didn't have an address.
Yeah.
So I couldn't get any mail to me. I also didn't have an ID. Which you can't get without a number of things. I didn't have a cell phone. So that's pretty much the loop I'm referring to.
Right. So like just any one of these things, if you have an issue, and it can lead to like a further negative spiral.
For sure, definitely. Yeah. Namely, if you are applying for a job, they often obviously want like a contact number.
Yeah.
But if you don't have a phone, because you can't afford it, there's no way to leave a contact number. And then you have the issue of getting like government mandated phones in Illinois. Like there's like an Obama phone is what it was called. But you need an ID, and you can't get your ID without paying for it. So it's really just...
The system is not set to have awareness of these things.
Oh, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Very, very much so not. Yeah, you kind of have to figure everything out on the fly.
Yeah.
And hope for the best, It's not easy.
Yeah. That's amazing that you got that job, and then through that you were able to start building your life again.
Yeah, it was I was lucky all in all, because that's again a very formative time in one's life. And
I can only imagine.
Yeah, not having really anything or anyone behind you is and stuff. It's scary.
Yeah,
For sure.
I bet.
Yeah.
What do you think we could do as a society and as just individuals as well to help this kind of people?
I think awareness is very big.
Yeah.
Just at a base introductory level.
Yeah.
Treating people like they're human and throwing a couple bucks their way, or pointing them towards resources, or anything like that can help immensely.
Yeah.
Not only that, but we have a significantly larger amount of empty houses to homeless people in the country.
Okay.
And there are people with way too much money. So,
Yeah.
I mean, maybe some sort of distribution or housing program, but I mean, the city here, at least, for personal experience, I guess,
Yeah.
is they're dragging their feet on homeless policies a lot.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, there are shelter construction ideas that get shut down because rich people don't want them in their neighborhoods.
Oh, I see.
There's
Yeah.
a lot of it's a very like primitive and classist way to look at human beings,
Yeah.
and it's self-fulfilling and self-defeating prophecies essentially.
Yeah.
Because those people aren't getting the help that they need, and they're going to be on the streets, and they're going to be asking you for money, and businesses don't let people go to the bathroom inside, so there's going to be shit on the street. Part of my language. Sorry.
Yeah, but the simple
Yeah.
things like that, like providing them with, sanitary services.
Yeah. Oh,
you
yeah.
know, even in like, I just keep thinking to myself that there's so many of us who are feeling that I want to do something, that if we all just started doing that something, even if it's a little thing,
For sure.
we could do so much.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. I mean, there are food pantries, at least in Chicago, in my experience. Like, I would go to the food pantry to eat.
Yeah.
A lot of them didn't have food because people weren't donating.
Okay.
That's a big thing.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was more into, I'm very involved in like the punk music scene right now,
Okay.
and a lot of shows I do, if I'm running them or playing them or whatever, I make them canned food shows. So you bring a can of food and it's like $2.
Yeah.
And then we donate the food to food pantries so they can hand the food out to people who need it. So I
that's
mean,
cool.
even stuff within our community like that helps a lot.
Yeah.
I think a big prevention and solution is just awareness and availability of resources, and then you can kind of start to tackle the other things.
Yeah.
But
Cool. Well, thanks so much, Mike.
you're very welcome. Thank you
Yeah.
for your time. Of course.